Karel Sabina was a Czech writer and poet known for his being a confidant and informant of the Austro-Hungarian regime. He was born in 1813 in Prague, the illegitimate son of Josefina Sabinova, but he lied to his peers that his father was a Polish noble. He attended the academic gymnasium in Prague, then studied law and philosophy but did not finish his studies. He worked as a private tutor and began publishing in magazines in 1835. He was investigated and kept under police surveillance for suspicion of belonging to Giuseppe Mazzini's revolutionary Young Europe Society. In 1845 he joined the anti-Austrian repeal movement, which turned into the Radical Democratic Party in 1848. Because he had published a brochure by Alexander Bakunin, he was found guilty of planning a conspiracy against the state and sentenced to death in 1849. His sentence commuted to 18 years in prison. He was released in 1857, but was banned from publishing anything without the explicit permission from the police. In 1872 he was exposed as a long-time informant and confidant of the Austro-Hungarian government. He only dared to go outside at night and in disguise, afraid of being confronted in public. He died in poverty in 1877 in Prague. We will cover his 1837, The Gravedigger. In a small village we see several locals express the hope to have the local pond drained, as people keep getting drowned there. Then they bring up how the previous count was found in the pond with his head missing. Then the locals do their best to avoid the local gravedigger, as he's morose and weird and no one in the village likes him. The only person who talks to him is the new Count William, equally morose, who goes on about how life, love, society, etc. are all just lies and deceit, and death is the only thing to look forward to. The gravedigger has one daughter, Clara, whom he wants to force to go into a convent. When he finds out she is in love with William, the gravedigger takes her mother's skull, which he just has on his windowsill, and forces her to promise she will never marry him lest she will be cursed by her mother's spirit from beyond the grave, by shoving her mother's literal skull into her face. He then reveals a mysterious massive hoard of gold he will leave her with, which should have made it not even necessary for her to go into a convent at all, but he does not seem to think so. In the meantime, a certain nun in the convent dies, and the gravedigger goes mad, digs up her body, cries, and then steals her rings. We find out later that he was in love with her, but she refused to run away from the convent her brother forced her into, that being the count whose head the gravedigger cut off and kept on his windowsill next to that of his wife. The gravedigger is forced to stay in his home and becomes insane every night, wandering the graveyard. Clara is then summoned to help care for William, who has fallen ill. He seemingly dies and gets buried alive in the family crypt, and is only awakened when the gravedigger tries to cut off his finger to steal his family ring. William finds out Clara loves him, but then after the gravedigger sets the village on fire and drowns in the pond, they find out they are half siblings, and William goes away forever and Clara dies while entering the convent.